I'm ready to start installing the hardware now. So what I've done is I've taken some of this Meguiar's Gold Class Carnauba wax. I just prefer this. And I polished each item so that they're all ready to go on and they're nice and clean. I also wanted to mention, sometimes you come across a drum and it has a hardware issue. Maybe you need a new lug, or maybe you need some different components. And I found this company on the internet, Drums on Sale, and they have for sure Ludwig parts, and I believe they have other parts as well. I tend to like to work with Ludwig sets. So that's my part source for Ludwig. Again, Precision Drum Company is where I get my wrap material itself. And so now I'm ready to start out with this first item. That's the base holder. So I have to, when I took it off, I assembled it. And I did that so that I wouldn't lose any hardware or components. So now I'm gonna put this onto the drum. Okay, so I'm ready to install this part here. Now you may wonder which way does it go, because it could go one of 4 ways. When I took it off, I actually inside the drum marked an arrow to tell me which way this part goes. So it's going to have a felt washer underneath, or a felt gasket, and it's just gonna fit right on there like this. And then on the inside, I have the other felt washer that goes with it. I'm going to install it into place. And then I'm going to put on all of the washers and nuts and snug it down. And I also do put some of that non-permanent or low strength Loctite. So I'll do that next. I'm ready to start tightening this tom holder up. So I prefer to go kind of in a pattern. Initially, I'm just gonna kind of snug it to start to get it barely snugged up or tight. And then as I start to tighten it, I'll go to opposite, sort of like a star pattern. And this doesn't have to be super tight. It's just going to be good and snug. Again, there's probably a torque spec. I don't know what it is. I just do it by hand because I've been working on mechanical things all my life, so I sort of just know how to do it. So just going to finish this up. It's good and snug. That shouldn't come loose because, like I said, I put some non-permanent Loctite on it, and that's nice and snug. I also mounted on one of the leg holders, and I haven't tightened it up yet. So this hole is offset, so what I've done is when I pulled these off, I marked them with A's and B's and arrows so I'd know which way they went. So I'll show you exactly what I mean. I marked it in an inconspicuous location underneath. So on this I marked it with a B, and on the hole I marked it with a B, and then I put an arrow on which way this part faces. So the tightening piece. So that's how I know what part goes where and how the order is. So I'll tighten this up, and then I'll start putting some lugs on. And I'll show you how to do one lug, and then we'll do the whole drum. One thing I wanted to point out was there's some play in this little plate. So if you don't have it centered, then the legs won't be able to come through here. So you can just center it with your finger, by putting your finger in there and getting a feel for where it's centered before you tighten up the leg holder. So that's what I'm going to do. Again, I don't know what the torque spec is on this. I just tighten back and forth until it feels very snug. And there's a definite point where it stops, where it's snug and you don't need to go past it. And again, it's just a feel, but it's pretty easy to do if you have mechanical aptitude. So far, knock on wood, I'd never have broken one of these screws off. I just snug them up very slowly until I'm comfortable that they're all the way seated. Very good. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and install a lug. So to do that, I just take one of my polished lugs here, and I have to pull the screws out. And then I'm going to start out with putting one on the seam. So I'll do that first. Some of these lugs, the screws or the thread holes weren't done very well at the factory. I believe since these were made in Monroe, North Carolina, that the hardware, I think, comes from Taiwan. And it's actually pretty good hardware, but the screws haven't been done very well. So on the lug here, you just stick it on, and then I'm going to put some Loctite on these two screws, and again I'm just going to snug them down. So there's a drop on that one. And a drop on that one. I have a towel down there because, well, as you can see, I just dropped a drop of Loctite. I don't want it to get on my countertop. That could make for a problem relationship. So I'm going to start snugging this down, doing one side, then the other, getting them kind of snug. Going back. And there's one lug. So I'm going to do that for all the lugs. It's a very time-consuming process. So when we come back, I'll have all that done, and we will finish the assembly of the drum, and that'll be the end of it. I finished installing the hardware, so all the hardware is now in place, tightened up, and it's all been polished. So it looks like a brand new set now. Before I put the heads on, I'm going to take a tack cloth and just go lightly over the inside of it, which I actually already did, but I'll just kind of do it again, just to make sure I get any dust, any remnants of vinyl or anything out. So I'm going to do that, and I'm ready to install. I'll start out with my resonant side head, which goes on this side of the drum here. So I purchased a new Ludwig head from Music 123, and I'm going to put it on here now. And I'm going to go ahead and install the hoop, and then I will assemble it, and I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. I've finished assembling the bass drum now, and all the hardware's on it. It's all ready to go. Just need to put in the legs, put on the pedal, and put it back on the set. So hopefully this video showed you how it's not really very difficult to do this job at all, and you can do a first-class job of it. The only thing is you do have to have the right tools, and you have to have a lot of patience to do it. So thanks for watching the video, and you can hear some of my music on soundclick.com/redonkulous, and we'll put a link on there if you want to hear it. Thank you.